Hey guys, well out again. Look where we are today. Look at this. How nice does that look? Flat, rolled, disc, almost like sand, I guess. Beautiful, beautiful land. I'm out with Dan Ayson round in the ground up near that there Castleford up in Yorkshire. Not far from where I am, 45 minutes down the road. It's been a long time since I've done a video. Not for want of trying. I've just been on a few digs recently that have been really quite non-productive. Had a couple of great weekenders, just didn't find much. As usual, I did my very best to walk around everything that was worth finding. Which is, I don't know, we're all pretty good at that, aren't we, really? So listen, here we are. This is what we're going to do today. I'm going to give it a good few hours. Some nice land. There's some land beyond as well on a slope, which looks really promising. So I'm going to gear to go and see what we can produce. So I'll see you on the first target. See you in a bit. Well, here is the first target, guys. And it's sort of there somewhere. It's about a 1920. It's a bit squeaky, but there's a lot of interference in the ground. I mean, the ground is littered with it's either iron or it's mineralisation. So I'm going to keep going on field 1 and see what happens, and I might switch on to beach, but I'll let you know as I go along anyway. So let's dig this 20. Well, that's it. I had to dig a fairly big hole, but that's it. Just a big bit of lead. Not sure why the signal was so up and down, because I mean, big piece of lap should just register as a nice clean signal, but there we are. Bit of lead. First one on the film. See you in a bit. Well, there wasn't a signal because I didn't think that could have been the 15, so I've just had a bit of a rake around, and anyway, that's what we've come up with. So our good old pal, the 4-hole button, but again, 15, that's pretty high for a 4-hole button. I would expect that to be more like 11, 12, maybe 13, but not 15. But anyway, there we are. I didn't think it was the foil. On to it next. So again, it's sort of another one in that relative sweet spot. See what's under it. Bit easy to find this one, I think. I think it's just in here. By the look of it, it was in the sort of just in the side wall, but there's something on the end there. Look, maybe a bit of lead. See it? I think that's it. Yeah, it's looking like another bit of lead. Yeah. Old lead though. I don't mind old lead. On to next. Well, that stopped me in my tracks. That's as beautiful as it comes, both ways. Steady 18, and 3-4 inches down or something. See you in a minute. Yeah, well, I flicked it out from there, and it's landed there, and that's exactly what it is. Look. So another big piece of lead, I think. Yeah, fairly sure. Yeah, it is lead, definitely lead. Unusual shape though. Looks like it's maybe been trimmed off something. I don't know. But like I said, I don't mind old lead, so let's keep going. I'm fairly sure there's some stuff on here. There's plenty of signals, there's been plenty of activity, you know, which always gives you hope, doesn't it? Because I don't know, the last couple of digs I've been on, they were crazy quiet, and it makes you wonder, doesn't it, if anyone's actually ever been there. So at least that's what we find in a minute, and we know people have been here, so let's keep going. Well, I found my way up to a little bit of grass here, which is above the plough. I doubt the farmer leaves it because it's difficult to plough or whatever, but there we go. Nice sort of 18-19 on the grass. See you in a minute. Oh, I didn't need to look very far. Flipped it out. There's a picture on the bottom there. That to me looks like the remains of an old pocket knife or a pen knife. Hey. Probably one of those sort of marble handled ones maybe, but it's definitely deteriorated over the years. It's not had a good time in the ground, has it? Or maybe wood, of course, with it being the pins as obviously as they are. Anyway, there we go. I suppose that's the first find of anything recognisable. There we go. Let's keep going. There we are. The next signal still up on the grass. Solid 22. Sounds like a small target as well. The signal's really sharp. Bit of depth to it. Who knows, maybe our first coin. See you in a minute. Oh, apologies I didn't come back to you, but it took a bit of finding. Anyway, there it is. I think it's probably a decimal half penny. It's a bit mucky. It's got a little nick on the edge there, look. I think it's probably a decimal half penny. Yeah, that nice high signal, small target. Yeah, it's difficult to miss those. They don't come up that often, but when they do, you pretty much know. But there we go. A decimal half penny, for those people who remember them. Me included. Our first coin, nevertheless. Let's keep going. Well, I'm off the grass now. I'm back onto the plough. And that's a nice solid 10. All right, let's have a look. Well, one scoop out, guys. It wasn't very deep, and it's just in this side apparently. So. Hold on, that looks like something. Hello. Now then, that looks interesting. I do believe we've got a Roman. Look at that. Oh, fantastic. Well, that's interesting because I'm heading towards this windmill here, and apparently last week a Roman brooch came up. And already behind me there's a guy who's got a silver Roman and a big old what looks like the remains of a Cistercius, so there's definitely some Roman stuff coming up. So that's cool. That's really cool. I'm not sure which one this is, but they're the standard bearers, I think, aren't they? Two soldiers with two standards, and then there's obviously the emperor looking to the right with his little sort of ponytail tassel type things. Well, there you go. Bit of Roman. Beautiful. Let's keep going. Well, there's the next one straight after that little Roman. We're definitely digging them, aren't we? 2021 both ways. Like it. Well, again, one scoop out, and it's down here according to the machine and the pointer. Been a bit of a pain to find though, I've got to tell you. Bloody neck. Ah, here we are, look. I thought I was never going to find it. Bloody neck. Oh, what's that? Well, it looks very round, so I'm not entirely sure it's going to be a Roman on that signal as well, on 20. Let's give it a little wait. And looks like a button. Looks like a button's got the little spot in the middle for maybe where a tomback was or something like that. But I'll tell you something, that's a massive signal for such a button. But then it is thick. Look how thick that is. It's an unusually weighty, but a button nevertheless. And there we go. On to the next one. Well, this was interesting. This was like a 15-16, but right on the surface. So I just moved a bit of straw, and there it is. So looks very round again, doesn't it? Yeah, bit of an old button. Maybe an old military button. Looks like it's got a hole in it. There we go. Little surface find. On to the next. Well, I just had a little 11-12 signal down here, and I just scratched the top bit away with my foot because I knew it wasn't very deep. And this has come up, and do you know what? And it's obviously part of a button because it's got a loop on the back. But what an interesting thing that is, look. A little bit of gold, a little bit of white. I guess it's half of it or part of it, but what an interesting little button that would have been. There you go, I thought I'd just show you that. Anyway, see you in a bit. Well, here we're on the next one. Signal's a bit up and down. I think there is a little bit of iron in there, but do you know what? I'm going to dig it anyway. Well, it took a couple of scoops this one because it was a bit deeper. I think I've just seen it. You see in there? That looks a little bit like something round. It really does. So let's have a look, shall we? Yep. Ah, there we are. Look at that. Ah, fell out. Yeah. Well, that didn't give a very good signal, did it? I wonder why it was so up and down. That's unusual for that to happen. Should have just gave a banging, you know, 22, 24, which I suppose it was on its way to. But just had iron one way and it's a bit jumpy the other way. That looks like, let's have a quick rub on the magic trousers. Is that a George V by the look of it? George V, so it's got to be a penny, isn't it? Yeah, George V penny. There we go, unusual signal. There's the imprint, look. That bad boy. I like it when that happens. Don't know why, but I don't tend to get that many imprints. Maybe it's because I disturb the soil too much. There you go. Cool stuff. On to the next. So that's 1516 in there. It's definitely something in there. It's surrounded by bad signals and iron. But there's definitely something in there. So we're going to give it a turn over, see what it is. Get back to you in a minute. Well, I'm not sure if this is the signal or not, because I'm going to carry on checking, because the pointer says there's something else in there. But look at that. That's definitely a button. But look at the type of button it is. I mean, it feels fairly light. I don't think it's stone or rock of any type. So I think it's maybe like a 1950s button or something, 1960s. Some sort of Bakelite or plastic maybe just. I'm not sure if that was the target. I don't think it would be with that tiny little bit of loop in it. So if you don't see me again, that's what it was. And if you do, I'll explain what happens. See you in a bit. See, I've just scraped the top bit away there when we built. It's a lot of signals that I've been getting, particularly low numbers, low tone. Have just been like flakes of copper and stuff like that, so I've just been scraping away and the 15 is still in there, so let's get to dig. Well, whatever it is, it's in that bit there, look. Undisturbed. And what do you reckon? A bit of wire. It's got two bits to it, look, so potentially a bit of wire. Should we break it and see what it is? Maybe not. It's just a button. That's why. The world's largest loop on the world's smallest button. This looks like a computer button with a big old loop on the back. There we are. On to the next. Well, mystery object number one, guys. Literally just took that off the surface underneath the loose soil. Can anybody identify what that is? I mean, it kind of looks like it's got some age to it, but it's not old. And those look as though they would have fitted at each end, because the loop sort of fits into the grooves. But it's a bit of a mystery as to what that is. I mean, it's not very heavy weight, so it wouldn't have taken any kind of load, I wouldn't imagine. But yeah, just an interesting mystery object. So if anybody knows what that is, put a comment in, and it'd be great to find out. Nice one. Well, how about that for a surface find? Just kick the loose dirt away, and there it is. Look at that. Well, definitely like a Roman spearhead, or maybe the top of a bedpost. I think that's more like it, don't you? Something like that. Maybe the top off an old off a bedpost or something. Yeah, or a banister rail or something like that. Yeah, not very old, maybe Victorian, but an interesting find nevertheless. Not to be mistaken as anything else. Cool. See you in a bit. Well, there's my first diggable signal since I came onto this field. This is a different field, just come on from up there by the muck, and it goes all the way over there. Look, I don't know about you guys, but I like slopes for some reason. I don't know why. Slopes, it just seems to feel as though there's going to be stuff there. I ain't got any evidence to prove that, of course, as you've seen from my videos. But anyway, back down to this 20. Let's get a dig and see what happens. Well, a big scoop out, and apparently this is it. I don't know what it is. It was a big 20 though, wasn't it? It was a big old signal. Let's get a quick rub, see if we can see out. No, not sure about that. It's a weird colour on the inside. It sort of looks like bronze on the outside. Yep, no idea. Bit of broken something or other. But there we go, on to the next one. That's a nice solid 17-18, guys. I've not been filming an awful lot because I've dug up stacks and stacks of buttons and bits and bobs. So I sort of got bored of getting the camera out and filming and so forth. So my box of finds at the end of the day won't reflect how many finds you guys see on the video, just because I don't want you getting bored with just seeing the same thing over. Anyway, let's have a look at this 18. Well, I didn't need to look too hard. I flicked the soil up, squashed a big lump, and that's what sort of fell out. I ain't looked at it yet. Didn't even need the pointer, obviously. But I don't know. Do you reckon that is? I mean, I guess, you know, probably a bit of junk of some sort, but a bit of decorative something or other. I'll give it a wipe on my trousers so get a bit of that loose muck off. I don't know, maybe it's got 4 holes in it there, look. I'll tell you what I'll do, I'll just get it a clean up and I'll come back. Well, cleaned up, there you go. I think it's too big for furniture fitting, but it's something like that, innit, I guess. Georgian, Victorian maybe. Feels like bronze or something or other. Copper alloy, which of course is bronze, but it's decorative and it's pretty nice. 4 holes on it, screwed to something or other, maybe part of a hinge. Don't know. Interesting nevertheless. Well, I tell you what, guys, I've got to say that I think it's fair to say that I'm having what I would describe as a decent day. Now, that's the finds box as it is. There's a little Roman in there, of course, as you saw earlier, and the big penny, and there's a whole bunch of buttons and some rings and some unusual buttons, bit of clear pipe and stuff, and then this interesting bit of stuff. So I would call that a proper day's digging. I'm not finished yet, of course, and I haven't found anything of any value or anything significant particularly, but compared to the last few digs that I've been on where I found hardly anything, hardly any signals, do you know what, I like this kind of day, I really do, because it's interesting, it keeps you busy, it keeps you engaged, and there's plenty of stuff to dig, and you never know what it's going to be. So I mean, look at this land. I've only come on over here, as I said earlier on, and I've probably dug 4 or 5 bits and bobs. So if it carries on like this for another couple of hours, I'll be pretty happy. Alright, see you in a bit. And then straight after that bit of hinge or whatever it is, just there, I've got one just here, which is 18, 17. So let's give this one a dig. Who knows what it could be. It took a bit of finding, but there it is. Look at that. It's not a day's digging, is it, without a musket ball. Maybe a little bit chewed, maybe been round a sheep's stomach a couple of times, which is a really nice thought, but there we are. There it is, the humble musket ball, but welcome nevertheless. On to the next one. There we go, biggest signal for quite some time. 20's nice and high, not very deep. Let's get it dug. Well, again, it's just sort of flicked out. And there it is. Show you what it is. It's looking like a medieval ring thing. That's what it looks like to me. What about you? Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, there you go, look. Let's see if it's an old one. Let's try and get it in the sun. Yeah, it's an old one. It's got the sort of hand-filed marks in it, look. Just in the side there. I'm not sure if you can quite see it in the lighting on the camera, but it's a sort of non-uniform shape, a bit thicker in some places than others, and it's got the hand file marks. So yeah, nice medieval ring, perfect. Big signal that though, don't usually come that high, but whatever. There we go. Yeah, so straight off that medieval ring, bit of a 21-22. So we're going to dig this one and all, why not? Well, here we go, cut the scoops out and it's in this bit here, according to the machine. Indeed, according to the pointer as well. Looks like something round there, look. See it? Ah. That's unusual. It's going to be a dog tag for a minute, but then we're in the middle of an arable field, so probably not. Ah, wonder what that is. Looks like it's got numbers on it. 335 maybe. Let's have a look. Get it to Rob. 535. 535. Oh, I wonder what that was off. Ah, looks like it's got something on the back of it. Let's get a quick rub. It's definitely got something on the back of it. Maybe it's just the reverse of the numbers. Oh no, it's definitely got something else on it. Well, that's interesting. I wonder if it was a coin at some point. It's about big penny size, isn't it? Well, I'll get it to clean up, and if I can see out else, I'll come back to you. But yet again, an interesting find. See you in a bit. Well, here we go. Well, interesting enough, it says 535 on that side, and I think it says 647 on that side. Look, can you see it? 647. And it's definitely got some writing around the outside. I've cleaned it as best as I can, and I can't see an awful lot more on it. I can just make out parts of words, but not full words. But I definitely want to investigate when I get back. On that side, there's a couple of little small W's up near the hole, or M's, I'm not sure which. I'll definitely give that a slightly better clean when I get home, and maybe show you it a bit more on the roundup. But there you go, interesting find. See you in a bit. Well guys, that's enough from me. It's still pretty early actually, it's only about 1 o'clock, half one. But you know when you've had one of them days where you've just dug enough? I've just dug enough. I've had a real good day. I've not got anything that's valuable. I certainly ain't got any gold or silver. But I've got a box full of interesting bits and bobs. So I'm out digging again tomorrow, so I thought if I knock it on the head a little bit early today, get home, get showered and that, watch a bit of football, Liverpool Palace of course, so have a couple of beers, charge everything up ready for tomorrow, and that'll do me for today. So cheers for having a look, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and all that kind of nonsense, and I'll do you a roundup because like I say, I've got a box full of interesting bits and bobs, and one or two of them might be able to help me identify, so that'd be awesome. So until next time, see you in a bit. Hey guys, so that's the roundup. I mean, how many buttons? They're all buttons. That's a button, which I showed you on the video. These are all buttons. That's a weird, I think that's a clog clasp or something like that, but they're all buttons. That's the big penny, the Roman. Two really thin rings, one small one, one large one. Not sure what they are. Russian bag seal. I'm going to clean that up a bit more and see if I can get an idea on it. This bit of furniture or something like that. A lid knob. This sort of, somebody said that was some sort of pit token or miner's token or something or other. And a universal medieval ring thing, and a Hoover badge off a Hoover. There's a couple of musket balls and you know, and things like that. So I mean, I know I said on the outro, that's what I call a proper day's digging. And, you know, with a few more coins, couple, 3 more coins, and maybe even a bit of silver, I mean, you're talking about having an amazing day. So that's my type of dig. I love that sort of stuff. Keeps you engaged, keeps you motivated, keeps you digging. You know, and I know some people don't like digging buttons, but I'd rather be digging buttons than nothing. So that's the roundup. A good old mix of stuff with a few nice bits and bobs chucked in. So again, cheers for watching, and I'll see you on next. Ta-ra!